Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Talk Tuesday. This is a free coaching and training call brought to you by the ATS. They are companies. A few quick announcements. We have a new conference coming up November. I shouldn't do stuff from memory. November 8th and 9th. It is Capturing Internet Leads. It is a 2-day conference, $20. You can either join us online or in person in Galveston, Texas. If you are part of the business university, you can talk to your ambassador about purchasing a ticket. Or if you're listening to this podcast, the link will be found in the show notes. Also, join us on Sundays for Plant Better Sundays with Antonio Titi Jr. live on Facebook at facebook.com/VATSJR. So since I'm doing tonight's call, if you know me, I am short to the point and then I'm out of here. I do not like to drag. I do not talk long. And we'll get into it, open up for Q&A, and I will let you all have a great evening. So today, ironically, I'm talking about being patient, something that I not only struggle with, something that keeps popping up into my reality through different situations and different people. So apparently the universe is trying to teach me a lesson. And since I am being dragged, I am going to help you avoid some of the mistakes that I have been making. So, quick story. There once was a teacher who gave his students some seeds that they could plant. He gave them sunflower seeds, and one of the boys in the class loved sunflower seeds, and he was so excited that he planted the seeds and looked after it with great care every single day. When the first sign of a sunflower sprouted, the boy, filled with great impatience, went to his teacher and said, "Can I uproot it yet?" he asked anxiously. The teacher answered that he would still have to wait some time, tend to the plant some more before he would be able to uproot and collect more seeds from the sunflower. The boy was disappointed, but he kept on looking after his sunflower. However, the more he waited, the more impatient he got, and did everything that he could possibly do in his power to either make the sunflower grow or make his teacher do something to help the sunflower grow faster. Despite the teacher telling him to be patient, despite waiting, knowing that he has to wait days and days before the sunflower to be ready, the boy finally saw the sunflower first seed. And instead of waiting, he cut the plant so he could eat the sunflower seeds. But unfortunately, the sunflower was still green, the seeds weren't ripe, and he couldn't eat the sunflower seeds. The boy was devastated. He had put so much effort, so much energy into caring for this one sunflower, but in the end, he squandered it all for a simple lack of patience. So not only does he not have the sunflower anymore, he can't eat the sunflower seeds that he so desperately wanted. He's getting angry because he's looking around to his classmates, realizing that if he had just waited, he too would have the beautiful sunflowers that they had. And how many of us are like this little boy? Maybe you're not planting sunflowers to get sunflower seeds, but maybe you have some dreams, maybe you have some goals, maybe you have some desires. And instead of being patient and waiting for dreams to come true, or waiting for prosperity to show up, or waiting for the love of your life to show up, you yank what you see away. You see the first sign of a dream, and instead of being patient and allowing it to blossom, you yank on it and destroying all of the hard work and effort that you put into it. How many of us are like this little boy, wanting something so bad, but not being patient enough to allow it into our reality? Patience is a practice. And I know we hear that a lot, but it is a deliberate practice. No one is born with patience. Someone has to cultivate it like a plant, cultivate it like a skill. And have you ever heard someone say, well, the moment I started asking for patience, the universe put me in every situation to not be patient? It's because the universe understands that you just don't get patience just because you speak it. You have to learn how to be patient. You have to learn what makes you impatient in order to do the opposite. Patience is learning to trust, not just trust in the process, but trusting yourself, trusting that you have every single thing inside of you you need to succeed. Yes, trust the process. Yes, it gets rough. Yes, people walk out on you. Yes, people treat you less than what you're worth. Yes, lights get turned off. Yes, rent doesn't get paid. Yes, bills may not get paid. But are you able and patient enough to trust the process? Because it doesn't always, someone says, it doesn't always rain every day. Eventually the sun comes out. And I know we say that so much, it's a cliche, but eventually what you're going through, what you're impatient about, eventually clears up. But the problem is we don't allow ourselves to trust the process. We go through hell and we stop right in the midst of hell, complaining about how bad it is, complaining about how rough it is, but refusing to move forward, refusing to be still enough and recognize that if I get through this incident, if I get through this hard time, if I get through this process, my dreams, my goals, my desires, the sun, my promises to myself, the prosperity that I work hard for is right on the other side. Are you patient enough with yourself to trust the process? Especially when it doesn't seem like anything is going to work out for you. That's when the universe is talking to you the most. That's when the universe is teaching you the lesson on patience the most. But we don't want to listen. We rather complain, as if complaining ever changed our situation, as if complaining ever brought us prosperity, as if complaining made us better people. Ladies and gentlemen, complaining keeps you right where you are. And if you're a student of the law of attraction, the more you complain about something, the more you attract to you what you're complaining about. Did you know if we just simply practice gratitude, and this is my one and only point, if we practice being grateful for where we are, patience is not that hard of a lesson. We don't recognize it, but the universe is trusting us with what we're going through. And instead of being grateful for the opportunity, instead of being grateful that we are alive or we have sight or we can hear, we can breathe on our own, we can walk and talk on our own, we complain, we become ungrateful, and then we wonder why life doesn't change. It doesn't change because you won't be grateful. And without gratitude, it's impossible to be patient. I've never met a patient yet ungrateful person a day in my life. So as I'm wrapping up, as you go through this life, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not patient, you will remain the same. And I know it gets rough. I know people have walked out on you. I know you probably may not know where your next meal is coming from or how something is going to get paid or how you're going to get through something. Just be patient and keep moving forward. I don't know when your breakthrough comes, but I know it only comes if you keep moving, if you keep trusting, if you keep believing, if you keep walking forward. Where a breakthrough can't find you when you're stuck. A breakthrough can't find you when you're trying to yank it into your existence instead of allowing it to come. And just like the little boy in the illustration with the sunflower, you're anxious for it, and I get it, but don't yank it until you're ready, and don't yank it until it's ready. A lot of us are praying for things and praying for people, and we're not ready to handle it. We're not ready to handle that person. We're not able to love them the way that they need to be loved or able to respect them the way they need to be loved. Be patient. Maybe your business isn't taking off as fast as you desired, or you're not getting the type of customers or clients that you want. But if you're just starting out, be patient. It may be 2, 3, 4, 5 years before your breakthrough, before your prosperity comes, but be patient. The moment that you quit, the moment that you give up, you might as well have hit a reset button on all of the hard work that you just did. Be patient. I know it's rough. I have moments where I want to give up. I have moments where I'd rather stay in bed because it doesn't seem like nothing is working. But I remind myself that if I be patient, if I be still in my mind and move forward and allow the universe to guide me, eventually I'll get to my road of prosperity. Eventually I'll get to live my dreams. Eventually I won't have to depend on other people to provide for me. That's all I have today. Just be patient. Even if it's rough, even if you have to do this life alone, just be patient and allow what is for you to come to you. That's all I have. Anybody have any questions or comments? Told you I wasn't going to be long. 14 minutes. I was trying to do 9. Any questions or comments or anything like that?
Tim?
Hey,
Great job as always. This was much needed. Everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody needs to hear that. To be patient. You know, we are in a time of right now. We want microwave blessings. So we want things when we want them, but we do have to. We know that it is a process. I see Darren on the call. He knows better than any of us that working out and getting the body you want, that takes time. You just not gonna get that tomorrow just because you worked out today. So anything that you want in life, it's gonna take time. You didn't grow to the age you are overnight. That took years. So you have to be patient in everything that it is in your dreams, goals, and desires. If you decide I want to be a millionaire tomorrow, great. You got to put the energy towards becoming a millionaire tomorrow. So if you don't, it may not come. I'm not saying that it's impossible. You have to put the work toward it, and what you do today can set you up for tomorrow. So great call. Thank you. Much needed. Appreciate you. Love you.
thank you. I'm glad you said that because it brought up something that I meant to say. I saw on Instagram, and I don't remember who it was. She's a life coach. I know that much. But anyway, she was talking about how a client of hers was repeating these affirmations and mantras about attracting more money. And she said the client was complaining because she'd been putting in the work and doing these affirmations every day and nothing's happening. And she asked the client, well, how long have you been doing it? And she was like, for 2 whole weeks and nothing has happened. And I think a lot of us think like that. Well, if I practice something for 2 weeks or for 2 minutes, my life will instantly change. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, the universe is watching to see just how patient you're going to be or how much effort and energy you're going to be. So just like working out, like you said, if I go to the gym every day for 2 weeks, does not mean I'm going to be my ideal weight in 2 weeks. It's a process. You've got to constantly work at it. So definitely just, it doesn't happen overnight. Oh, there's no such thing as an overnight success. They have been putting in work, grinding, hustling for years before you actually see it. So please keep that in mind. Thank you, Grace. Anybody else? Hey, Chantel.
Hello. That was so good. So well needed. I agree with Grace. As that's something that I really do have it's an obstacle for me because in New York, and I have to mention it because just as you're talking about it, the notification popped up on my laptop. In New York, when I got my articles, my business, from my LLC and registered for it, you kind of got it like instantly. And out here, like for the past like week or so, I could feel myself like, okay, Chantel, you gotta work, let's go. And I had went ahead and purchased my and registered for my business out here in Florida, and the official certified copy wasn't coming through saying that it was official. And I was like, what's going on? And I'm like, kind of like, it's like worried. So then I called them up like 2 days ago, and they're like, well, because of the hurricane, it had held them back. And I was like, okay, okay. And just as you were talking here, it popped up that the certified copy came through. But what I want to say is, even when you're worrying or you're like on the edge or anything, it makes no sense to be, because the universe is going to make you wait regardless. And when it's for you is when it's going to come. Nothing you can do, nothing you can say is going to make something just pop up like that. So why put yourself through that during the process? It's either it's going to happen when it needs to happen, it's going to happen or not. So yeah. So thank you for that. That was cool. Oh, and let me say this. I have been I love, this was a perfect call. My kids, I'm guilty of them for a while getting really into the YouTube. And recently, our circumstances and things don't allow it like that. We have only limited sources to use, whatever. And I'm like, you guys, there's things you can do else or whatever. So I'm teaching them, and they're like giving me a hard time, like, oh, come on, like, can I just get 5 minutes? And I'm like, just being patient, and saying, Chantel, you would just say here, you would just do this, you would. So they're used to that, and it's going to take time. And yesterday, my kids was playing bowling with water bottles, okay? And I was like, yes! And they were playing catch and reading books. So patience is a virtue for sure. Thank you, Tempestt. That was wonderful.
No, thank you, Chantel, for sharing, and congratulations on getting your article for your business come through, Chantel. Congratulations. Thank you so much for sharing. You're so awesome. Anybody else have anything they would like to say? Hey, Darren.
Hi,
Good evening.
Tempest. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, sir.
You got a channel? You want to go ahead?
No, go ahead. I'll go after you.
All right. Thank you for this, Tempest, because I was just having a talk with someone yesterday, and they asked me, because some of you know, but But I don't think y'all may know that I am a recovering addict. And so my vice was alcohol. And so during, or even now, you know, when I first started going to meetings and working the steps, one of the things that we're taught in the therapeutic community is to trust the process one day at a time, right? Now, the person asked me yesterday, because they expressed that they had been dealing with anxiety. So they asked me, you know, is it normal to feel like this or whatever? And it was because of going to meetings that I learned that I battle with anxiety. And hence that's part of what fuels my addiction. And so anytime when I find myself being anxious, oftentimes my anxiety revolves around feeling like I'm not controlling something that is outside of my control. So one of the things that I had shared with him that has been helping me a lot, and again, this requires patience, is I learned to do the next best thing. You know, when I find myself being anxious, like for example, you know, I'm at work, and my kids are with my mom. And when I start getting too far in my head thinking about what did my kids make a mess at my mom's house? Because when I get off from work, I'm going to pick them up. We going to the crib. So I'm thinking about all this stuff in my head. So instead of me, when I get too far ahead of myself, I find myself being anxious. And I find myself being impatient because I'm not thinking about the outcome of when I go pick my kids up, right? Here's the thing, because again, I have 3 girls and a boy. So instead of me getting too far ahead of myself, I said, okay, what's the next best thing for me to do? And I got my reminder on my phone that we're going to be on having our Tuesday meeting. So for me, that's the next best thing, right? So saying all this to say, I can trust when I can become certain in the face of uncertainty. And that's something that goes literally against the grain of my nature to want to control. Because addicts, you know, one of the things that we have, our nature is we're control freaks. You know, that's just our addictive nature, our temperament, right? So instead of anytime when I find myself getting too, where I'm not in control, at that moment I'm reminded that, you know what, the only thing I can control is doing the next best thing in the face of uncertainty. And every time that I face uncertainty and I trust the process, whatever it is that I feared in my head was only in my head, right? And those things that I was uncertain about turned out to be much better than what I thought that they would be. And I think often what fuels our impatience, well, for me, what fuels my impatience, because naturally I'm a patient person, but the thing that fuels my impatience is being uncertain. So it makes sense to want to try to control something, or it makes sense to want something to hurry up, you know, because, you know, something might just take it away from me. It might not be there when I get there, right? But whatever the universe has in store for me is for me, as long as I sit put and control the process. And this is something that I'm learning, guys, and I thank you so much for this patience reminder, because I'm learning patience is not something that I can just go to the store and buy it off the rack. It just doesn't work that way. So thank you.
No, thank you. That was so powerful, and I definitely agree. I think it's Oprah that has a clip that says she, you know, asks, "What's my next best move?" And sometimes day to day is too much for some people. Sometimes taking one day at a time is too much for me. So what's the next move for me? Seems to calm my anxiety. I 100% agree with you, and thank you so much for sharing. I'm grateful. I'm glad that you were here. Thank you for sharing, Darren. I greatly appreciate it. Miss Shannon Clark, Dr. Shannon Clark.
Hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Okay, you did a great job.
Thanks.
I absolutely love you.
I love you
And
too.
I'm not going to say anything else because I'm tired of getting dragged by this company.
Okay. So thank you.
You did a good job. I needed to hear it, and I appreciate it because sometimes we do just need to sit down, take a deep breath, and get some things spoken to us that we need. So you did that. You always do that, and that's the area that you're gifted in, and I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you too. Thank you, Shannon, Dr. Shannon R. Clark.
Say it loud and proud. Thank you, friend.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Anybody else have anything to say? Pamela says, yes, I may need to do it 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. That I do understand. Sometimes a minute at a time is what's best. Thank you for sharing, Pamela and Shannon. Anybody else have anything to say before we wrap up this awesome
Yes,
call?
I do.
Oh, hi, Bishop.
What's going on, Tempe? I just got one
Oh,
thing to say.
what?
I
How's your
remind
day
you. Yeah, I'm gonna remind you of what you said at the very beginning of this call.
going?
You said it's not gonna be long.
Okay. Mm-mm,
I don't like to drag
well,
and
drag out. I just said
okay.
drag out. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah, yeah. Because you just drug
Oh.
every bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Woosah.
Good luck.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That was a good encouragement. That was a good reboot so I can woosah. And let's keep doing it. Let's keep going. Move
Thank you.
forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Bishop gave me one word. I don't get 3 points and a call. What's really going on?
I'm saving it.
Oh, okay. Tomorrow. Got you. You right. Anybody? You're so right. Any? Sometimes makes the things listen. Darren. Okay. It's a word. It is a word. Okay. Anybody else have anything they would like to add or ask or make a comment?
Hey, boss lady.
Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to say you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for the reminder of needing to be patient. The story of the little boy with the sunflower seed was dead on. But thank you so much for the reminder. And again, you did an amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you. Tell Dawn I said hi.
Will do.
Hey, anybody else? If not, I am going to wrap up. I will wrap up. Thank you all so much for being here. Join us tomorrow for Walk It Out Wednesday with double certified People's Pastor, the Reverend Bryant A. Johnson. And then join us on Sunday for Plant Better Sundays with Antonio T. Smith Jr. at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Walk It Out Wednesday is at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 7 Eastern. And then we'll be right back here next week for Let's Talk Tuesday at 6 p.m. with Grace Sandals, not me. Yay, Grace! Again, thank you all so much for being here. I greatly appreciate your attention and your patience. I hope you all have a enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a wonderful week and see you all next time. Bye. Have a good one. Darren, I love
Bye.
Coca-Cola. You are my friend. Amen.